Are you in a small to mid-sized church? Are you needing to upgrade or update your microphones on a budget? Well, this may be the video for you, so stick around because I'm going to be talking about wireless microphones on a budget. Hey guys, thanks for watching Church Talk. I'm Rob, and today we're talking about budget wireless microphones, which really those words don't go together very well. Budget friendly and wireless, those are some things that that's a phrase that doesn't fit very well. If you want some really good quality wireless gear, you're going to pay a lot of money for it. There's no way around it. However, there are some cheaper or more budget-friendly gear out there, and that's what I'm going to be looking at today. Is when is it worth going cheaper on your wireless gear, and what applications is best for that inexpensive gear? Because I've used both. I've used the really good, expensive gear, and I've used the cheap stuff that you really don't want to purchase. And then I've used some cheaper things that seem to work pretty good. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys today what those are. And to start, I want to talk about GTD Audio. Now, these microphones, I've done another sort of a review on these before. There's another video where I talked a little bit about these, but I want to do kind of a review on this and say what would be the application I want to use this for. Because we actually bought some of these. I actually bought two different sets of these mics. The GTD Audio feels heavy. It feels good. It doesn't feel light like a toy like some of them do. And it kind of gives you, to me anyway, it kind of gives me the feel of like a Shure Beta 87. That's kind of my go-to microphone. It's what I use weekly. And when we bought these, it kind of had the similar look. And I thought, well, if they're mimicking the look of it, maybe they'll mimic the performance of it. They really don't. There's no comparison to those higher end units. You're not going to get the same performance out of a cheaper microphone system than you do those more expensive systems. But I'm speaking to you today. If you are watching this video, you're thinking, I can't afford that $1,200 microphone system. I can't afford that $800 system, but I can afford the $150 system. So is it worth it? For us, we bought these things back before the regulation on the 600 megahertz band. So we bought the old ones, and then we found ourselves being illegal. We had a season of time in our life to where we were traveling for ministry, and then we went into worship pastoring at a campus church, and then we went back into traveling again. And so the first time we traveled, we bought the first set because we did not have the money. And so we bought the GTD Audio. And then the second time, since they worked pretty well for us, we bought the updated after the regulation that went through, and we bought the 500 megahertz. But I want to let you guys know what that we liked about them and what we didn't like about them. So the pros is they were cheap. They were affordable. We could buy them on a small budget, and they performed. They feel good. The battery life on them, of course, you just have to put regular batteries in them, AA batteries. We would use rechargeables. So every time we would use them, they would be fresh batteries, but we could use them for a long period of time, and they were easy on batteries, so that part was good. The other thing about them is good is they do sound good. Their sound quality does sound pretty good for the price. Like I say, it does not compare to your more expensive equipment, but it does sound good. So if you're just speaking, these are great mics. But here's the drawbacks of them. And I think this is going to be a drawback on probably any less expensive microphone. Your budget mics is, number one, the build quality. It's plastic. they have buttons on them instead of switches. I kind of prefer a switch rather than a button, but that's besides the point. But they do have a backlit display, so you can see what's going on there. They have the battery life on it as well, the indicator. So there's some positive things there. But if you are a strong vocalist, like me and my wife, we're a pretty strong vocalist, and you really get into a strong part of the song, these things will tend to clip on you a little bit more than what they should. I've had people tell me it sounds like your speaker's busted. Well, it wasn't the speaker being busted. It was this microphone clipping when I begin to sing stronger. And so if you have a really good sound guy, he can work with that on the fly. But if you have a lot of volunteers and they're not real sure what to do, it's just kind of set up and they just mix for you, that might be an issue. It might be a problem. But for the application for these things, what I would suggest, if you are a small church, small ministry, and you're wanting to be wireless, if you're using these to sing and you have a strong vocalist, I would not buy them. If you're using them to preach and you shout when you preach, I would not buy them, because they're going to clip on you when you shout into them or when you sing really strong. But if you are going to buy them for a microphone that floats around the sanctuary for questions or testimonies or things like that, these would be perfect for that. Because number one, they're cheap. So if somebody drops it, you're not out a $800 or $1,000 microphone. You're out just $100 microphone. And the thing about these is they come in duals. So you would have two microphones in the pack, and that does come with two XLRs out. So it's two true channels. Say that fast. Two true channels going out. It's not one split channel or something like that, where some microphones are that way. But no, we did buy the 4-pack of this at one of the churches where we were the campus pastor, and the 4-pack did not perform well. They were broken. I'll say broken. They didn't work right out of the pack. And so we ended up getting another one. They replaced it, told us to keep the 1-pack and just throw it away because it wasn't working. And so they give us another one, and they worked for a little while, and they begin to, one at a time, they begin to fail. So that 4-pack did not perform well, but the dual, the 2-pack, has done pretty good as far as the longevity and how they worked and how they lasted. They're still working. What we use them for here in the house, in the studio, is talkback microphones so that they can go anywhere we don't have a cord. So if you want some talkbacks on your stage, these things are great for that. If you are in a children's ministry or especially a youth ministry, and you can't spend a whole lot of money in that, these would be great for that purpose, especially in a youth ministry where maybe those kids are like learning how to use microphones. They're learning how to handle things, and there's going to be mess ups. And if there's a mess up while the kids are learning how to treat the equipment and things like that, you're only out $100 system, and it's easily replaceable in your budget. So those are those areas where I would suggest to use these cheaper mics. Like say if you're in a children's ministry or something, and a kid gets a hold of your microphone and drops it, or whatever happens, and so with a youth group or something, I think a cheaper mic like that will work great. These things do have an adjustable bandwidth, so you can adjust them. So you just unscrew this off, and here's your battery pack there. And then once you turn them on, I have no batteries on here, but once you turn them on, you can go to the head unit, and you can pair these things and change the channel. So that's a plus. That has that same function as your higher end equipment does. It just doesn't sound as good, and it's not built as good. On another video, I'm going to be talking about a couple other microphones that I don't have here with me, but stay tuned for the next video that I'll be releasing next week, where we talk about a different brand. I'm just going to be going over a few things. I'll go over some Phoenix Pro and some Voco Pro and things like that. My opinion, what you should stay away from, what you're safe to buy. And with the GTD Audio, I've had them enough to where I can say they are an Amazon purchase. So you know that something that you just find on Amazon, if you're not going to find it on Sweetwater or Musician's Friend or something like that, sometimes those are cheaper units and you want to be kind of leery of buying those products. But when you're on a budget and you go to Sweetwater, you see that everything's really expensive, or then you jump over to Sam Ash, or you jump over to Musician's Friend, or wherever you like to buy your gear. And you see, my goodness, this stuff is really high dollar. So then you go to Amazon, you start seeing, oh, I can afford that. You have to be really careful and really cautious of that. So that's why I'm making this video. That I think the GTD Audio, this is a G-622. These things worked really well for us, for me and my wife, for what we'd done. We had this gear in a travel rack that we installed it, and we traveled, and we could just pick these microphones up, and it was in our gear, and it was good to go. We even took them at times and just put them, instead of in the system, we would just take just the rack itself and put it in the church's system, so we have our own microphones and just use 2 channels of theirs when we first began. On a budget, these work pretty good. If you take care of them, they last. We still have the first set that we have. We've actually had it up for sale, but there's only just so few channels left on it that's within the range that they're really limited on usage, and I don't feel right about selling somebody something that they don't know that, so it's been sitting here for a while because they're almost illegal. There's just a very little bandwidth that you have that's usable on the old system, and because of that, we bought the same exact thing with the new one, and it's worked well. It's done good for us, for just the 2 of us. But when we had a full band, I found out that it's better to go ahead and use our wired SM58s, because they are much better quality. So if you are in a small to mid-sized church and that's what you're using right now, but you want to be wireless, do not buy these expecting the same quality as your old wired 58s. They're not the same quality. But if you save up a little bit more money and spend more money, you can get some wireless mics that you do like. But steer clear of the $100 or $200 wireless gear for your main gear if you can. If you are you want it for preaching because you walk around but you don't get loud and you don't really shout and you're more of a teacher, these mics will work great. If you're going to have testimonies in these mics, or questions and things like that, or your announcements, they work great for that. So if there's a lot of different people going to be handling them and you want something that's inexpensive for that, they do work well for that. So that's my review on the GTD. I will leave a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, so if this is something that you like and you think, yeah, I'm going to try that out because they're pretty cheap and it kind of fits what we're thinking about doing, it is an affiliate link, so it's no more cost to you, but it does give me a little commission on that purchase, and I appreciate that. But yeah, that's my review, guys. Tell me what you think of them. If you have any of them, if you've had good service out of them, or maybe poor service out of them, comment down below. I'm curious to find out what you guys have found, and if you do end up buying one of them or purchasing one of them, let me know what you think later on, because I'm always curious to know how the cheaper gear, how the more budget-friendly gear is lasting in the big picture. Because we don't like spending, nobody likes spending money. I like getting good gear, but there's applications that cheaper gear comes in really handy on a travel set of, your youth group, or you're going to be going outside and things like, sometimes the cheaper gear just works really good for us. But there's some that we want to steer completely clear from. But I think the GTD Audio is one that you can purchase and trust. As far as my experience goes, if you get the dual receiver and not the 4-pack, the I guess you could call it the quad. I'll put a picture up here so you can see what I'm talking about, the difference between the two. There's one that's a 4-channel, one that's a 2-channel. The 2-channel gave us really good service as far as longevity and lasting and nothing failing or breaking. The 4-pack, not so much. It failed on us within the first year. We went through a couple different packs, and it was not something that I would recommend to anybody because of the build quality and the longevity, or how long it didn't last or how short it lasted. I guess that's a better way to say it. So guys, there's my review. Go check out robandjen.com. That is our website where you can find our Church Talk page and all the different things that we have on our merchandise, our cups and our t-shirts and things of that nature that we have available. If you like them, pick one up. It helps out the channel. And be sure that you click the like button and the subscribe, and click the bell as well so you'll be notified when I upload new videos. And we'll see you guys next time on Church Talk. God bless.